overwhelmed. The San Francisco Public Defender's Office has stopped taking cases, citing Daniel Lurie, the new mayor, his push on crime. Hey, you guys are arresting too many people. We have too many would-be felons that need representation. What's this look like? Let's get into it. Here we go. The move comes as the mayor seeks to cut 15% from all city departments. We know you're overwhelmed. You're shutting down to new cases, and we're going to cut your budget by 15%. Oh, that's not good. There's a good look at street crime. You know what? You know what's crazy is you've got this storyline going on, right? You've got this storyline. San Francisco Public Defender stops taking cases because you've got this anti-crime thing going on. And yet the big push in the media is to show that crime rates have dropped everywhere. It's not jiving. Let's take a look at this quick video.
And that has San Francisco leaders cheering. New statistics show the city's crime rate is now
Yay!
in 23 years. Two of the most noticeable drops, homicides and car burglaries. And all this comes as the California Department of Justice is announcing the SFPD has made big strides in implementing reforms. Here's NBC Bay Area's 𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗠😅
What?
Police Chief Bill Scott says San Francisco police officers have plenty to be proud of based on the crime statistics released today.
Across the board with violent crime, from robberies to shootings to homicides to sexual assaults, they're all down.
According to the mayor's office and PD numbers, the crime rate in San Francisco is down by double digits in both violent crimes and property.
Oh, compared to 2023. So compared to relatively much elevated crime rates, it's dropped 31% or 14%, depending on what you want to look at. So it went from wildly out of control to just out of control. So, hey, that's a victory. Let's push that out there in the media. And that's what you're seeing.
In fact, the overall drop in crime is so significant, Chief Scott says you have to go all the way back to 2001 when Willie Brown was the mayor of San Francisco to see a lower crime rate than 2024. And in a couple key categories like homicide and car burglaries, the drop is even more significant. There were 35 homicides in the city last year. That's more than a third lower than the homicide rate in 2023. And it's the lowest murder rate the city has seen since the early 1960s. Car burglaries in the city are down by more than half. Chief Scott credits proactive police work by his officers and the use of new technologies like drones and traffic cameras and a better working relationship with the current district attorney. What's more, California Attorney General Rob Bonta announced today the SFPD has successfully implemented nearly all of the 272 reforms the department agreed to back in 2017. Chief Scott says that's a big deal.
These two things don't have to be mutually exclusive and one doesn't detract from the other. You can have reform and improve your police department and your practices and protocols and still address the issues that need to be addressed.
Police Chief Bill Scott is heralding some major achievements for the police department, but they also come on the eve of the inauguration for a brand new mayor. Mayor-elect Daniel Lurie spent some of his morning at the Central Police Station in Chinatown. He says he hopes to see more progress department-wide.
I commend SFPD, but we can't stop. We got to continue to get better. I want SFPD to be known as the greatest police department in the country.
Chief Scott says he's looking forward to helping.
Bold.
That's what the new mayor, what he would like to see, clean and safe streets. And, some of the challenges that we have been able to make some progress on, we want to continue the momentum.
In San Francisco, 𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗠𝗏, NBC Bay Area News.
Meanwhile, 7 stores leave. Meanwhile, stores continue to leave in droves the old West Center Mall. So you've got these stories where, crime is way down. But then the reality is kind of boots on the ground. It's still a different story. You've got a crazy vacancy factor. You've got businesses going out of businesses. You've got stores closing down. Stores moving out. So which one is it? Is crime at, historically low levels since the 60s? Or are we just cooking the books on the data? It's wild stuff. Yeah, it doesn't jive. That's the bottom line. It doesn't jive. What I'm seeing in the news isn't jiving with the statistics. And that's basically all I'm going to say, right? I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Are they cooking the books? Probably. Is there a drop in crime? Well, it was at really high levels before. So has it come down that much? Okay. For the first time in more than a decade, and then we got this story. For the first time in more than a decade, the San Francisco Public Defender's Office is so overloaded with cases that it has closed up shop. Well, it's not open for new business. It's still operating, but it's not taking on new cases. The office will decline new clients on one business day each week. So they're cutting the bad boy down by 20%. Wrongfully arrested? You might have to cool your heels in the clink a little longer. That doesn't sound like fun, does it? Can I get out of here? Can I get released? No, don't even have somebody to represent you. Got robbed and want the perp prosecuted quick? Too bad. The alleged criminal is guaranteed defense under the Constitution, so you can twiddle your thumbs. Thanks much. Or is the San Francisco Police Department, they're doing such a great job getting the bad guys that they're all getting handed in Public Defender's Office, which is already overloaded. Almost all public defenders in just everywhere that's a major big city are overloaded because nobody wants that job. It's a difficult job and you don't get a lot of money. And there's just you're dealing with some real scumbags day in and day out. Some of them innocent scumbags, but scumbags for the most part, right? Matt Gonzalez, chief attorney for the Public Defender's Office, penned a letter to San Francisco Superior Court presiding Judge Rochelle C. East saying the office would move to declare itself unavailable, a legal maneuver. Today, we are unavailable for services offered to you to defend your constitutional rights. Unavailable. Public Defender Mano Rahu says the office is overwhelmed with drug cases. There's a shocker. So everybody knows San Francisco's been overrun, Los Angeles has been overrun, Seattle's been overrun, and they're all attempting to play catch up with a situation that should have never been get to this stage, to get to this point. But the whole notion of, drugs are good, just let everybody do whatever they want, defunding the police and going down a bunch of crazy train roads. These police bureaus and the legal systems are trying to get a handle on this stuff. I don't know. I'm not buying a bunch of this is my bottom line, because what I'm saying doesn't really mesh with what the numbers are coming back. But again, I'm also not a police officer, so maybe I'm wildly off. But I'm still just going to read the story. Rahul explained the move in a Board of Supervisors hearing Wednesday. The meeting was aimed at addressing District Attorney Brooks Jenkins' budget, but Rahul took the floor. We're in a position where we can't take any more cases, he told the supervisors. If we keep taking cases, we're not going to be able to provide the representation our clients deserve, and it's going to have a negative impact on the just outcome of the case. That's one of those complaints, inevitable complaints about the public defenders, that they're underpaid, overworked, and, they look to cut deals. They look to cut deals, even if somebody's innocent. They look to cut deals because they just got to keep it churning. You got to just keep it going. Rahu said his office has tackled a 40% increase in felony filings since 2020 and handled more trials last year than when we started keeping track. So historically, per their records, all-time number of trials. That's good. That's good. You're putting the perps away. You're addressing some of those issues. Again, you shouldn't be playing catch-up because this should have never have gotten to the point that it did. But with Mayor London Breed and other folks that have been in leadership position in San Francisco, anybody that's in office now, they're playing catch-up. They're playing catch-up with, just like the Seattle City Council is. They've been playing catch-up with, trying to patch back up a whole bunch of just ridiculousness that far left-wing nut jobs got the city of Seattle into. Far left wing nut jobs that Seattle residents voted into office saying, this is progress. This is great. No, it's not. Yeah, you just open up the city to just wild shenanigans. But that's what these big blue cities want, right? There were 200 more arraignments in the first 4 months of 2025 than in the same period last year, Gonzalez wrote in his letter. It's easy to see why Mayor Daniel Lurie arrived in office with a pocket full of promises, including a public safety mandate. That's what he ran on, he said. And a lot of folks are like, really? Really? You're going to go after the bad guys? We've heard that before. It hasn't really worked out, but he's hammering down. So that has translated to more arrests on 6th Street, in the Mission, and in Jefferson Park, to name just a few high-profile fentanyl busts. Now, we keep hearing about 6th Street and 16th Street, kind of these two major streets where a lot of the fentanyl is sold. They'll bust 16th Street, they'll clear that out, go back to 6th Street and clear that out. This stuff doesn't disappear, but arresting folks kind of gives that message of it's not entirely the Wild West here. They're trying to do something. While the busts haven't all yielded prosecutions on the whole, charges have risen enough to drive a greater need for courtroom resources. Got to load those courtrooms up with public defenders and district attorneys and all those good folks, right? And they've got a system. And so when you rock their system with a bunch more cases, this is what you get. Yeah, we're going to have to close down. We're not available for cases on Fridays. We're just not taking on new cases. And all they're doing is they're taking a workflow that got increased, and they're saying, boop, on this one day, in order for us to get through our current workload, we're not going to take on new cases. And all that does is just push things out even further, but allows them to get through what they've got going on right now. Does this have any major impact? Well, it does on the people that are in jail that haven't been released, can't bond out, whatever. It's just timing is going to get kicked further out. Daniel Lurie, new mayor, is trying to close an $820 million budget gap by June 1st when his budget proposal is due, but that's coming in conflict with his pledge to improve public safety, and that is happening all over the United States. Got these huge budget deficits, and then you've got public safety issues because you just let it all go. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be good. Oh, yeah, summer of love. Oh, 2 thumbs up. Best ever. 2 black kids get killed. Public Defender's Office is among the city agencies that pushed back on Lurie's mandated cuts. But you got to make those cuts somewhere, right? You got to make them somewhere. Just take them all away from the social workers. You can't really do that. And then at the same time, Lurie's got this whole, campaign promise of public safety. I'm really going to ratchet down on crime. Well, he's kind of doing that, but then there's going to be a whack for get the budget in line. Jenkins, in a scathing letter penned in late April, pushed back on Lurie's bid to cut more than $5.4 million from her office. Each of the offices is trying to defend the need for more money going into their system. Got to fight crime. We need more money. We need more public defenders. We need more. DA's office, like the public defenders, has been burdened with more cases. We're actually asking these systems to do what they were intended to do: prosecute criminals. Filter out the very, 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 very few innocent ones. Put the bad guys in jail. Or at least send the message that, we're doing something. In his budget request to the mayor, the public defender called out what he sees as a glaring disparity between funding for prosecutors versus constitutionally mandated defense. Rahu's budget is less than half of that of the district attorney, although every person accused of a crime is presumed innocent. Wink, 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 wink. San Francisco's criminal legal system in practice operates as if it presumes guilt. Isn't that kind of how they all operate? Yeah. As reflected by its current and historic funding allocations. Give it all to the district attorney. Give a fraction to the public defenders. Contrast is clear from their headquarters. Goes on to talk about the district attorney has just this epic place, and the public defenders crammed 210 employees into a 39,000 square foot space that they first occupied in 89. Whereas the other crew, district attorneys, they get brand new office space as of 2019. That's politics, right? 2 of 4 attorneys are packed into each windowless office, the defender's office. The last time the public defender's office declared itself unavailable was in 2009. So you got these huge crime surges, or they decide to actually go after the criminals. And that's when you see public defender's office. We can't take your case. Sorry, we are not able to assign public defendant to you at the moment. It's Friday. We'll get back to you a week from Monday. Brooke Jenkins, district attorney, agreed the public defender's office needs to move through its cases for criminal justice system to work smoothly. Correct. Got to churn and burn. Got to keep going. District's office has more than 7,000 pending cases. The most in years, Jenkins said in a statement to the Standard. So, bottom line is, kids, if you if you want to stay out of trouble, maybe especially don't get busted in San Francisco, because the wheels of justice there, if they're moving, if it's not Friday, they're moving very slowly because they got a lot of people in their system. They're a much wanted system at the moment. So I think the mandates come down from Gavin Newsom. He's told everybody, hey, you got to clean your stuff up. This looks terrible for all of us trying to run for president. Speaking of that, Gavin Newsom released a new website. I mean, it is classic. Let's take a quick look at it. It's false claim. People are fleeing California. In fact, our population is growing. Gavin Newsom's got this new website, and it is it's pretty entertaining. Let me see. There was one here. Let's go to the LA fires. Look at this one. No, LA fires were not deliberately set to hide secret pedophile tunnels. Yeah, it's this one here. I didn't even hear about that. Did you guys hear about that? I didn't hear about that. But it's good that Gavin Newsom is getting this information out there. It's literally a website, CaliforniaFacts.com, that he is coming up with and posting because there are so many right-wing organizations that are continually doing stories on him. And he's like, that's false information. That's misinformation. Here's how it actually is. And then he gives his spin. So he is literally trying to spin his way into the presidency. Not going to work because most of the country isn't going to look at that ridiculous website and go, okay. All right. That's why Gavin Newsom did what he did. This makes a lot of sense now. Let's vote for him for president. Boop. I don't really see that happening at all, right? When public defenders are not ready to go to trial or proceed, those cases languish in our office, driving up our pending case numbers and caseloads. It causes frustration and traumatization in our victims. Yes, it does. Because at the end of the day, these are, crime. You got a bunch of crime going on. You got people that have been impacted, and then you got criminals that are just kind of sitting there twiddling their thumbs, which I say, I don't really care. But then again, if you're an innocent folk and you are in jail and you can't get through, San Francisco again? Might not be where you want to mess around, F around and find out, right? Lurie's spokesperson, Charles Lepvec, said, keeping San Francisco safe is the mayor's numero uno goal. The mayor's budget will thread the needle of both closing the historic deficit and building on recent decreases. Bunch of nonsense. We appreciate the public defender's partnership in this urgent work to get fentanyl off the streets. Okay. At Wednesday's hearing, Jenkins cocked an eyebrow the Board of Supervisors inviting Rahu to speak when the topic on the agenda was her office's budget. I find it fascinating that the public defender is here today. I can't believe that is by happenstance, Jenkins said. Nah, the mayor sent him down. And he's like, I just want to keep going on crime. I want those stats to pad whatever, political aspirations the new mayor has. I don't, who knows what's up with these folks, but we got to keep it going. We got to keep what we got going, which is, drop in crime, or the supposed drop in crime. Speaking to the supervisors, Jenkins claimed that there is a disparity between the office's funding because the DA handles all of its cases while the public defender can kick cases to attorneys called conflict counsel, provided by the Bar Association of San Francisco. So you've got all this back and forth. If we need more funding, yeah, but you don't because you got help. Bunch of stuff. One speaker during the public comments seemed intent on cooling the temperature in the room. So even in San Francisco, the people got worked up because their budget's going to get cut. They're already overworked. Well, this is because you've gone down that whole defund the police and defund, you went down the wrong track, and here we are, and folks don't want to become public defenders. And your system is overloaded because you allowed a whole bunch of whacked out nut jobs to just run around on your streets. And now you're finally trying to come back and, make the situation right, which is what other big cities have been doing from the get-go. So I don't feel too bad. I mean, this is just San Francisco in chaos because they've, gone down this one road and it's all good. Let drugs happen. Let people live wherever. Now they're trying to reel it back in, and they got to go down this road of, arresting a whole bunch of folks. And this is where it lands you. You're in a system that isn't equipped to handle the volume because you shouldn't have such volume. That's the bottom line. You shouldn't have all these criminals running around. The areas of San Francisco, Tenderloin, that are just horrific and have been absolutely run over should have never happened. But here you are, and you got to figure out how we're going to make this work. I don't know how they're going to make it work. They'll get through it. So we DAs, like the public defenders, are extremely stretched, and every day we're called upon to do more and more with less. Sounds like the police departments, doesn't it? Don't have enough cops. Is all of this by design? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's coincidental, right? It seems like there is an agenda for all this criminal activity, and now we don't have enough public defender. We're going to have money taken out of the budget. It feels like this is all a script. To me, it just does. I'm like, feels like a script. Let me know what you think the script is, because I get comments like that all the time. A lot of times they're really small and I can barely read them. Make them big. I'm 56. My eyes are bad. Make them big. What do you think the script is on this bad boy? Because this is happening all over. Typically in big blue Democrat-run cities. Need I say more? No. That's it for me on this one. Thanks for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.